there, though. Liang Shanpo is only attacking reluctantly.
That's right. We have no desire to fight. Sometimes there is no alternative. Cao wins!
It doesn't end there, though. Liang Shanpo is only attacking reluctantly.
That's right. We have no desire to fight. Sometimes there is no alternative.
1#. Of course, I think that victims at Brain Control can rid themselves very easily, but with conditions. 1. If they really want to get rid of this gang and do not stay in it and get rid of the group of homosexuals or morally degenerate who have half of this gang, these are the ones who openly attack the victims and use. Then they have brain control weapons, and this group is affiliated with the Bible Church and do not talk here. Also, this group has someone to represent it in the victim's family also, meaning some individuals who are victims at Brain Control, for example, thinking that if he gets rid of such a group in his family's home or the church, he will be fine, while he is a fool. He will not get rid at all, because those who remained are also members of the gang as well, and they are the ones who brought this group of morally degraded, and they are but the same thing. I noticed some idiots among the victims who think that this gang is for more gift from God came to them, and also some of them believed that they had followers or that he has to defend a position he has in it. Of course, this type of victim is the one who is difficult to redeem himself, and the reason is that they are very stupid, as they do not know that the spy who created them for a group of followers or people who think they are good is the same who created the other group against them. This spy is the cause of the problem. Here we go back to the beginning of the matter, as the victim has to know only one thing, which is what a rule in this gang is, so that she can then redeem herself. 2#. And this gang that calls itself an organization is nothing but a gang, and it is not organized at all, and it is not theirs, and it will not be, and they will not get anything from it. For example, for the victim to try to win this on her by giving an order that they give her $20 million and change all the laws. This will reveal to the victim that whoever thinks that he is a hidden God angel for her is nothing but a member of the gang or its leader, and she does not have any followers at all, and that this cussed spy is the one who registered the victim's family and made their church is also the one who registered the victim's friends as well, and all of them are the one who leads them, not the victim, and he is not a secretary at all. He is the one who leads the group that is against the victim, and he himself is the one who leads the group with which this spy is the owner of this gang, but he always plays a secondary role. He hypes or makes himself a secretary of the spy victim. Here they notice something important, meaning that if you have a farm and need a god or a secretary, of course you must know who he is, but all victims do not know anything about him here. Why first is it stupidity from the victim who expects that he is the voice of God as she trusts God here. Notice that this spy terrorist who entered the Church of the Bible claims that he is the voice of God or hidden guardian angel who does what the victim wants only for this reason also succeeded, as the victims are not thieves or bandits to do this. 3#. These actions are on their nerve, but they are simple people, but they do not know that this does what he wants and gives orders that he only wants, and they do not mean the victim has nothing to do with politics, security or drug trafficking. While this gives orders about it, maybe the victims went to poor people and had a complaint from them, and they thought this spy who they think is their angel will only help him with money, but this is not true at all. This spy will make this poor person become a thief in his gang, and he is the only one who leads him, not true at all, and makes him an enemy to America and Europe. But even if this poor person is a friend of these countries, I'll be seen as mercy for him and a savior, but this spy secretary will either kill him or make him turn into an enemy of these countries through dirty tricks here. Another thing is, can you change this spy secretary who does what he wants only, or punish him or he expel him? The answer is very annoying. If you say anything, then you are the one who will be punished is the one who will punish you, and not you. He gives orders to the group of morally degraded people to act against you or make them listen use of brain control programs against you, because he is the one who planted the control chip on you as well. He killed you, and it is even more funny that the group that will try to kill you is their bearer, and the money that was paid to them, you who gave it to them also will expel you. 4#. And if you open your mouth, you will be killed. Then the game is very clear, and there is no way but to disavow this spy secretary and from this gang that he is the director of and to know you, and he will not give it to you at all unless he is crazy or is a fool like some of the victims that this is the style of the leader of this terrorist organization. Our chief handler is not true at all. I know that Jalad remains trying to get something. I think that if it continues, it will achieve something, but I do not hope at all. This is a terrorist organization. Perhaps the wrong situation in Iraq is what made the mistake become true, but it is nothing but infinite, of course. How I wished if you were in one of the countries of America and the countries of Europe and perhaps you would have eliminated this gang very easily, meaning if you were in India, for example, and the reason is that in those countries they are just thieves who do not represent anything. Iraq is the one who struck the coalition forces, and it is the one who killed thousands of friends of these countries here. All their theirs in those countries know this, but they are considered theirs here. Notice that they are traitors in America, and European countries are exploiting. The judge is also more than this, that their puzzle from Iraq, meaning all evil orders against America or Canada and others are issued from the leadership of this network, terrorism from Iraq. Of course, it is assumed that all of these branches are completely terminated because they themselves affiliated with a general office for them in Iraq, and after this the closure of Iraq they are completely against them, and a terrorist who has made himself a prophet, who is the leader of these, and with him the abnormal security agent, and both of them have taken the gospel church in Iraq as a place from to cut everything. Now we go back to the main issue, and it's funny joke, which is that some fools among the victims have choice.
Ultimately, we must win. Ultimately, we must win. Ultimately, we must win.
6# Stupidity and folly. They gather theirs or choose people to play a game of two teams. This is a very fatal mistake, and it indicates that the victim is someone who is either very stupid or has a mental illness. The issue is very clear. I mean, can you go to a fancy restaurant to eat a meal if you do not have money at all? I mean, do you guarantee and think that the spy secretary, according to what you think is a guardian angel or a servant for you, is the one who will pay? Of course, but you will try to eat a sandwich cheap with some money you have here. Wise against them the same. The victims must wake up from the delusion in order to return to the reality and the truth, which is that she does not have anything. Then how do you gather her followers? Who will pay them? This spy is a guardian angel for her or a servant, and she thinks that these people want to take this place from her, or she got it because she prays in the church of the Bible, and God has given her a gift or a treasure, and this is a mistake. The gang against which, of course, I am, although it is facing the gang, but in the correct way only and not wrongly handling it like it. Look at the gang that attacks the victim or against her. Why do they and the victim's group of followers work with the same laws? This does not require a mind even in order to answer it also. We find that both are in the same name record. The only answer is that they are both enemies of the victim because one person created them both. It is this spy who made himself the secretary of clamor is the owner of this game, so he is the one who brings someone who gives him a weapon for you launch. 7# The fire's on you, and then it is thrown at you with an idle weapon that you do not have any authority over it. Here, the group of the victim's followers do not take any orders from the victim at all, and the reason is also clear. Because the enemy also works with them, or the records must be separated from them, and theirs will have their own record. They will not implement this at all, so they are just an unemployed weapon that does not benefit anything, but only harm from it exists through that the interviewer will see that the victim entered a fair battle in which two parties and the victim she has followers, money, position and property, and all this is not true here. I have something else to say, and the victim has to know who she is in the middle of this gang, meaning her real role. For example, is she the manager or the person who records items for them through the people he knows or his family, or when he eats or drinks, or he goes to any shop or cafe or any place while they spy on it and register people, or the victim is responsible for their heirs, or the person who chooses their payments from is their etc. Of course, the answer is that the victim is just a scapegoat or only a camera hides behind the leader of this gang, or is the body that he uses to lead his gang, and it is completely nothing here. We see who is the real enemy of the victim. He is the spy who exploits the victim's body and not the gang members who are just followers of this, and he is the one who gives orders to them now. There is also a trick in it. some of the victims, and they are going to deal with the gang. For example, they think that there are differences between the elements of this gang, and, for example, the elements that are against them, so they go to other elements that they think are tops with them to benefit from it.
Group's control over Ella and Tim? Or will he also become a slave of the mad scientist? Be sure to see The Mind Control Machine, the fourth action chapter of The Lost Planet, at this theater next week.
Then, well, your suffering will be considerable, and so unnecessary. The technique is irresistible. Ultimately, we must win. I advise you to relax, Miss King, and you will experience only a feeling of well-being, a drifting into sleep.
I feel like a robot. Am I plugged in?
Yes, you're plugged in.
Everything's squared away?
Yes, everything's squared away.
Then stand back, baby. Don't fire, you see the whites of their thighs. Shall I push it again?
Whatever you feel like, Miles. Miles, what do you feel?
It feels very funny.
How does it feel, Miles?
It's like an itch, sort of. Yeah, like an itch. Only it doesn't bother me at all, you know. It feels nice.
Where does it itch, Miles?
All over. I can't.
Hey Tash, this is a very unsuccessful plan because this gang is like a hyena clan whose members may quarrel over their race or compete with each other. Of course, there is no sane person who gets to a group of them to become with him or become a friend to them or is expected to obtain from them some help or protection from their bears because of there's disagreements among them. This is a very stupid behavior. He will find himself and everyone attacks him. This same thing is with the brain control gangs. There is no trust in them. He cannot rely on elements of them because they are only one family. They are all one organization led by one person and they will unite among themselves on it in the end, and also he will not get anything. There is only one reason that can be considered justification for the failure of such a step, which is that the victim's disagreement with the leader of this organization and all of these opposites is the one who leads them, but even the group or elements that will attack the victim, they took orders from their theory on this too. They will become exactly like them, especially the group of the faggot security agents they'll have because they are all children of a devil one. With one, but even the proverb that says, enemy, my friend, is not suitable because this organization is all about cows of the devil playing with them like chess drones. He has the right to try the weapons that he has in order to see whether you are working or not before entering into any battle and do not become a fool who goes and tries to shoot and finds that the weapons are idle and do not take any orders from him. Also the victim faces a continuous attack that does not stop, and she really needs help in order to help the truth or follow the truth, not a lie or people who are truly beside her who give her enough help so that she can face and know people are waiting for us from the enemy to be allowed to give some food or a trivial sum of money that does not benefit anything. Also is from he gives them orders to close the door in the face of the victim. These are not at all followers or friends, but they are with terrorism. For this reason, the battle is against Satan, the spy who exploits the victim's body, and he who makes himself a secretary of God, and he is the one who leads the group that attacks the victim, and he is not from the one who leads the group of liars who they claim to be with the victim or at odds with them. If the victim walked on the truth also, the complete disavowal of the gang also declares that he is not responsible for his family and their home, and he is just living with them only. Whoever gives him money as he does not go to the Bible church also announces whether he knows the unseen or not, and is he a religious leader or not. This is also the correct beginning. If he has money, I advise that he buy a weapon, as these are gangs outside the law and spying on him with his brain control segment, and they are not useful with the many words, not even hitting with one hand, because they are half human beings. All of them have been tampered with theirs by controlling tears. This has become evil for them. This is why nothing works with them.
Encourage members to spy and report on one another. Separate the recruit from himself by attacking the self and inducing a mental breakdown disguised as a spiritual awakening. When they start to freak out, have side effects, or hallucinate, tell them they are flushing out the bad stuff inside.
When I was meditating, I felt an infinite emptiness. It was utterly terrifying.
No, this is good. You're transforming. Do it more.
You are reaching God.
You're being reborn.
You are becoming one with the universe, one with our family.
Make them paranoid about their own bodies or thought processes.
You're battling your sinful nature. Your body is detoxifying.
Tell them that there is a part of their mind they must eliminate in order to find happiness.
You must eliminate the toxic mind.
Your ego. Your ego is the source of all your problems.
I don't know who I am anymore. Good. Now you're free. In fact, there was no use.